Hey guys, what is up? Fluffy Ninja from Warp Crew Paintball and Warp Sports Chicagoland, and I'm here with the new DSR. I'm going to switch to another camera so that way I can show you a little bit of maintenance and what you need to do to keep your DSR running smooth. Okay, so first of all, we're on the other camera here, and we've already loosened these screws. I do like that you don't really need to keep these in. That's actually kind of a nice feature. It will hold together without them. So, okay. And there we go. I got our grips off. Yeah, perfect. Alright, get stuck on there. Okay, so we do have a, I believe that's a 5/64 Allen key, and that's what you need to get your little screws out that hold on your grips. And then I believe, oh no, let's size up to get your ASA off, and that's how you get to your regulator, which after a day of play doesn't really need to be taken care of because these things are kind of built to run for a while without needing to be clean. The regulators anyway. Okay, and there's your regulator right there. Okay, it's got a healthy dose of lube on there already. Okay, so it does have a healthy dose of lube on there already. Doesn't really need that much right now. And then, oh, I think we're gonna need an Allen key to get it off of there. And there we go. There's your regulator. Get that out. There you go. You see, it's pretty well lubed up, so it doesn't really need to be cleaned right this second. But, if you did need to clean it, make sure the inside of that's all cleaned. Re-lube it. This O-ring, make sure you clean that off. Make sure it's not nicked or has any flat spots in it, or else you are going to start experiencing leaks, and as with any gun. But this gun has been running smooth. It's brand new. So yeah, just make sure all those, there's 2 O-rings in there, and then a third one out here. Okay, so you want to make sure that your piston is nice and clean, not damaged in any way. You want to make sure your spring's on there correctly, which since they switched to a spring design, I know a lot of times companies use shims. Shims can be a little bit confusing, but with a spring it's pretty straightforward. So you get your blue O-ring and your green O-ring on there. Dye is great about color matching their O-rings. Okay, and then there's your red O-ring. Now we are gonna, because we wiped that off a little bit, we're gonna take some dye slick lube. Alright. And just put a generous coating on that. So there's no chance of any leaks from the reg, from the grip, you know, because that's just a sealing O-ring. So what it does is that threads back onto there, okay, back onto your ASA, and then there's going to be a hole in there. I don't know if you can see that. Yep. Okay, and that's where that O-ring sits to seal your regulator into your gun. And you're going to take your screws, take your Allen key, tighten that down, snug it down, don't crank on it or else you can damage your marker, and we don't want to do that. We're going to just clean off any kind of paint that got under our grips, of course. Don't want it too messed up in there. But honestly, I think I got shot in the gun like twice, and it really wasn't that bad. So it was pretty easy to clean off. Alright, so you tournament guys out there, your turnaround time is going to be pretty nice. Okay, and that's how you take your bolt out, of course. Set the gun to the side there. Okay, and then, here we go, get this apart. this O-ring off first. Okay, so before you take your bolt out, you want to make sure you remove this O-ring. It's on the front of your bolt here. It goes right in that little groove. Okay, and your bolt slides out. You got your bolt O-rings on there, 2 orange ones and what looks like a purple one. Okay, you want to make sure you clean those off really nice. Inspect them for any nicks or cuts. Obviously, again, new gun, should not be any nicks or cuts. You got your sealing O-rings on the outside of your can here. You got an orange O-ring in there, and that little lip in there. Make sure that's clean. Okay, I don't see any nicks on it or anything like that, so that should be good to go. Got your bolt guide right here. Okay, just clean that off. These things do come from the factory, just slathered in lube. So you should be able to go quite a while without having to re-lube it, but if you start to develop a problem after a day of play, it's because you didn't lube your O-rings. Okay? So, just a little bit of random lube on there, don't really need it on there. Alright. Cool. And this thing shot phenomenal all day. You see during the shooting video, it didn't have any kind of hiccups. I think I had one rollout, and that's because it was just, my paint was just super tiny. So it kind of rolled out, but other than that, gun shot amazing all day. I never had a break in the barrel or anything like that. Okay, so your purple O-ring, or it's kind of like a brown color, I guess. Make sure that one's covered in lube. Get in there, nice and deep black. Okay, on your yellows. Okay. You just kind of, I mean, it's not that you just want it wet, like you want it, you want to be able to visibly see the lube. So there's like a little bit of tolerance on either side of your O-ring and the metal, and you kind of want your lube in those gaps, so that way, you know, it'll fill in any kind of spaces that, you know, air could leak through. But again, these O-rings are made, and the guns are made with such tight tolerances that that's not really an issue. Okay, now we're going to just put a little bit on the inside of this bolt here. Oh, come on, lube. Yeah, there we go. Okay, just run it around the inside of that. So that way when we slide it down over this, get a little bit of spread. So that way it's not too bad. And this brown O-ring is basically just a bumper O-ring, but you want to make sure it's lubed just the same. Okay. And your purple right there. A little bit. Your oranges. Okay. And then again, just spread it around. That's all it really takes. Okay. There you go. And like I said, I think this takes maybe once you get really good at it, once you know, like I'm doing it kind of like a teaching aspect, so it does take a little bit longer. But to lube your whole bolt, to even like take apart and clean your reg, if you have to, should take no more than 10-15 minutes. You know, and that's if you're taking your time to do the best job you can, and you want to do the best job you can because you want your gun running well. Okay, and then we're going to take a little bit, put it on the inside of the can here, and just rub it around with our fingers. Okay, and then just take a little bit more on your bolt and just wipe that in there, just so you know, like there's no chance of metal on metal contact, and if there is, it's not going to damage the bolt. It's gonna run as smooth as possible because that lube's going to act in a way that isn't going to allow friction. Okay. Okay, we're going to work it in there a little bit, and then we're going to put a little bit more on this bolt. and just spread it around lightly. You don't want to really dig it in, and then you want to move the bolt back and forth. So that way you get that orange O-ring on the inside of your can. And so that gets really nicely done. Now we're going to screw it back together. Okay. Alright. Okay, make sure we're all good. Lube is on all the O-rings. Oh, I think I missed these, didn't I? Yes, I did. Alright. I know I got the first two, but I did not get these back too. And again, these are just sealing O-rings, so if you're getting air out of your back cap, that means your sealing O-ring might be bad back here, and it's just letting air out, or it might need to be lubed. But that's one of the things. If your gun, alright, we're gonna switch back to the other camera here. If your gun is leaking, please check your O-rings. Always check your O-rings. O-rings are usually the first part of any gun that will go bad. Actually, it's probably your battery first, and then your O-rings. But if you get a leak down your barrel, it's probably a sealing O-ring on the inside of your bolt. If you get a leak coming out of the back cap, it's a sealing O-ring on the outside of your bolt. And it's really that simple to take care of. So we're just going to put our bolt back in. Nice and smooth. Click that in place. Take our grips. And put those back on. Okay? And like I said, you can kind of leave it without the screws, which is nice. But I'll put mine back in off camera. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.